You're watching my favorite YouTube channel. Pretend you didn't know what the title of this video was, didn't see the thumbnail. It's not about Recast T'Challa. I want to bring you to this tweet that I posted. This masterful tweet that I put, picture of Elf up top. We got Frosty the Snowman, Scrooge from Christmas Carol with the ghosts of Christmas past, Christmas present. You know the ones. All of these iconic characters in the tweet up above, you can read it say, with all the popular Christmas icons, imagine if a melanated character became top 10 in the genre. For those of you who don't know what melanin is, it's the thing that has my skin a little bit darker than Mariah Carey's. It's a little bit darker than Mariah and Macaulay Culkin and Tim Allen and Will Ferrell. So if there was like a guy with skin pigmentation that was darker, probably somewhere from Africa or a descendant of there, and then that thing. Those people who are treated poorly with a poor status globally for various reasons. Imagine the impact of Christmas, this annual holiday, having one of its top representatives, like some of the people we see here. You can argue who's top 10, but definitely I would say Rudolph is top 5, along with the Grinch, along with Santa Claus and Frosty, and this Mariah Carey song. These are iconic. Iconic. Imagine if one of them was black. I know Mariah is half, so pretend I said dark skin. Imagine that. The meaning. Because I'm sure there's Bad Santa. I'm sure if I thought about it, I could, pick characters in the Christmas kind of lore, mythology, and pop culture base. So I'm sure there are that exist. But you're going to tell me they're as meaningful as Santa Claus? You're going to tell me that? Because you can't. This movie, when will it not air? Home Alone 1, 2 also. Not so much 3 with Scarlett Johansson. She was the sister in that movie. So that's what I said. I said, finally, what a breakthrough with an exclamation mark, right? This is great. Now, there's meaningful representation, and then there's like attendance representation. Yeah, we got plenty. Now imagine if a melanated character broke through and reached that. All right. Then imagine if the one associated with that IP, i.e. the actor or the singer or the voice actor for somebody's cartoons, imagine if that person died. And then the owners killed off the rare success and gave less iconic versions. We don't need Rudolph. What's all of the other reindeer? Let's get Olive in there. Imagine we didn't get no Rudolph for a decade. No. We're going to do that. And imagine you couldn't hear this Christmas song anymore from Mariah Carey. Imagine you had to settle for like, rocking around Christmas tree. That song. Imagine you couldn't get Mariah. Imagine instead of Home Alone, you got Home Alone 3 or 4, which I'm not hating on those. Just imagine if there was no Grinch anymore, but there was one of those other kids in Whoville, what the city, and that was the guy taking the mantle of Grinch, and they never told his story no more. And then I said that this is a Recast T'Challa tweet. That's what happened. I thought I was clever as hell for posting that tweet, okay? You know what I'm going to do, though? I feel like James Gunn and his DC universe that he's going to be doing and starting. I put up a poll on my community tab, and we asked. It says there's 73 votes so far. You could be the 74th. I'm going to show this poll to James Gunn on Twitter. Imagine if DC Studios asked you which of these superheroes you would like to be treated at the level of Superman. Mr. Terrific, Vixen, Static, Icon. So I'm talking leading solo films and featured in crossovers. Who would you advocate James Gunn and Peter Safran to get behind? To have not just representation, but meaningful representation. You guys want to read more? You're probably asking why Jon Stewart is missing. It's because he's the secondary Green Lantern. That's right. Jon Stewart is a secondary Green Lantern. His top tier status would be temporary. Historically, that's exactly what happened. Where he was the hottest Green Lantern we've ever had, to reach heights, to be known and the most popular Green Lantern that there was. That happened in 2005. And I lived through the desert of Jon Stewart Green Lantern. Let me read this. I said I would never ride for a hero who has a built-in reason within his own franchise to sit out a decade while the others get featured. Jessica Cruz, Hal Jordan, Alan Scott, Simon Bass, Guy Gardner, who was already cast. There's no point of representation if the position won't be sustained. That would be a waste of finite resources. Because I live in the real world. Oh, by the way, everyone, you can vote. And so far, winning is static. And I've got some takes, got some comments also, that people wanted to add. Hardware is my favorite milestone hero. He's not on the list, but he's my top pick. Valid. And you see how nobody upvoted it? I want people to upvote it. If you agree with that, you guys upvote. Let's increase that. And then we can't really measure, but we can measure. Well, 74 votes now. Somebody else voted. Okay. Back to this little Jon Stewart rant I was about to do. Stop liking this character or cheering for or asking for this character as if the resources are plentiful and they're unlimited. When you know that the studio are only going to allocate, let's just say 10% of their marketing to a black character, let's have it be the guy who's always going to be there. They know, like, we live in 2023. They know to be more representative. If you guys remember what Marvel Studios said about the Fantastic Four are too white, and so we have to get Pedro Pascal. I mean, his skin isn't much darker than the regular Fantastic Four, but he's not white. But regardless, that's the world we live in, where they kind of get the heebie-jeebies and they get, we don't want to do racism, so they'll offer roles. And then, okay, I guess we got to begrudgingly do the bare minimum. So that minimum percentage on that pie graph, some of it going to Green Lantern, to Jon Stewart, is just a waste of that resource. Because Green Lantern Jon Stewart is not going to be there the next time. And then they'll do Cyborg. I'm not like estimating, I'm not guessing, I'm not even projecting. I'm not predicting. It literally happened. We lived through that. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. There will always be a spot, a black spot. There will be a melanated character featured just because they're not racist. And I'm just saying, make it Mr. Terrific. Perennially, always. Because when you do Green Lantern now, here comes the next studio head. I want to do something different with my universe, with my films. The Green Lantern is going to be Hal instead, okay? And for my black, let's do... And then you'll do whichever one. I'm just saying, let's just skip that. Let's skip the disappointment of Jon Stewart being really top tier, getting featured, just so that some next guy in charge can not use him. The Green Lantern franchise is one with rotating heroes. Go rotate a bunch of white guys. But when it comes to the black representative who's going to get very important screen time, make it so that I don't have to go live through a decade without the character. Make it so that we get Static, or Icon, or Vixen, or Mr. Terrific. It looks like they already started on Mr. Terrific. The last thing to show you is my next Recast T'Challa tweet, which I got scheduled for 12:01, and I want it retweeted. It's a New Year's tweet. Here we got a comic book image on the right side of the greatest black character that's ever happened in the history. Greatest as far as sales, as far as longevity with over 200 comic books. No one else can claim that. It's T'Challa, aka the Black Panther, King of Wakanda, King of the Dead, and the Champion of Bast. Two-time magazine Person of the Year. 6-time People Magazine Sexiest Man Alive. I forget these things. That's T'Challa right there. And then here's the actor who played this legendary character and elevated this character with performance, with a standout, great performance, and doing popularity, providing popularity for the character. All right, let's read this tweet that I'm doing at New Year. So when you guys count down, 3, 2, 1, you kiss the girl, mwah, and then you go to your phones and you be like, let me retweet that Chillmonger thing that he did, because that's actually how you reach more people. Like it gets boosted the more like sooner people will retweet the tweet. If it's a fresh retweet, if it's a fresh tweet from Chill and you retweeted, it's already got 10 people retweeting it in the first minutes. Oh, let's push this to more people. That's how they computers think. I said, anybody in 2024 still think Chadwick Boseman would want this legendary character off screen? A couple years without him is fine. But killing off T'Challa with no return strategy isn't a tribute. It's misrepresenting his memory. A new actor can resume Chad's effort. Hashtag recast T'Challa. Chad's effort, this guy, dedicated the final 4 years of his life learning, advocating that the accents that they use in the movies should be of African sounds and not like a British accent like they were going for. This guy did a lot to make this character the household name, which he got to, that top 10 status. Remember this Christmas tweet here? I'll put it back up again. Imagine if one of these guys was black. That happened. There were years when we would say, man, just imagine if, we got Die Hard movie, but imagine if another movie played with a black lead. That happened. In 2015, let's say. 2015, we're like, man, so many superheroes. Thor, Wolverine, Hulk, Wonder Woman, Batman, Well, there's so many of these characters. The Flash is cool. I got nothing against Captain America. But man, wouldn't it be cool if there was a character with dark skin that, not like the Meteor Mans, not like those kind of guys who weren't really taken seriously, but if there was like a big hitter in a meaningful role in a top position, because like representation's cool, but only when it really hits, and he's like a genre-defining character, much like this guy is part of our keep the change, you filthy animal, part of our pop culture zeitgeist, and the Grinch and Rudolph. And the Christmas tree. I see you, Mo Salah. Merry Christmas. These staples of the December 25th annual holiday. Imagine if the superhero genre had, and we did get that. But in 2015, we dreamed. Static had a thing. There were a lot of characters who showed up, but there was a Black Panther who was just as meaningful, just as prominent on Halloween. The Halloween costumes I always come back to. There was that. It existed. It was top tier. And in the name of, women's representation, here's Shuri. Why did some of you fall for that? I saw tweets saying Shuri, and recently, I saw tweets recently saying the people who wanted Black Panther back were only mad because Shuri was getting the mantle. That's not true. I'm trying to get the elevation of the greatest black character ever for in a top tier role where more impact can be done. I'm trying to have a perennial star player in this rotation, same way Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Grinch and Scrooge and everyone is. And Mo Salah. That's what I'm trying to get for. Of a top tier character in the superhero genre. And when Black Panther's elevating, and when he's elevating, and then you say, you know what? We're going to kill him. Nix him. No more him. But you guys can enjoy this. It's like when you see a kid playing on an iPad. Imagine, guys, you see your little 5-year-old on the iPad, and you're like, how do I get the iPad away from him? Okay, here's the hula hoop. I'll play with the hula hoop and make them be interested in that. And then let me give it a try. Yeah, sure, here. Take that iPad, and now you can do your taxes or whatever else you were going to do on it, right? That's what you guys got. You guys got the here comes the airplane. That's what you guys got. There was a character in a top 10 position. Genre defining. Great Christmas comparison, if I do say so myself. Retweet that. Retweet the 1201 tweet. If you want to know a little bit more about how my last couple of weeks have been, there's a members only video that should be right there. And if you don't want to pay the Canadian dollar, like it's a loonie. I appreciate your support anyway, but come on, guys, it's just a loonie. I'll be doing T'Challa time also, so members will see that live stream on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern.